Hey guys, it's Hannah from Lightbox and we're here with our beautiful model, Skylar. Today we are going to be talking about using the backdrop in different areas of the studio. A question we get asked all the time is, what does the studio look like in late afternoon? And can I take pictures in all areas of the loft or just one? So today we are going to show you what Skylar looks like, me taking pictures of Skylar in 3 different areas of the loft, and put those pictures side by side so you can see where the difference lies depending on where we're shooting. Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're starting out on the south side of the building. We have one window right here that brings in a lot of light in the late afternoon. And if I ever have a client that comes in, I primarily will shoot them against this wall from the effect of having a lot of sunlight coming in. We are going to be using this rolling backdrop throughout this demonstration, so that way the backdrop is like the controlled setting, so you guys can see how different each picture looks in different locations. So I'll have you start by just putting your hand in your pocket. Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple of pictures like this. Perfect. All right, so for this spot, my settings are shutter speed 1/200. I have an f-stop of 2 and the ISO is at 160. I'm using a 50mm lens for all the pictures today. Perfect, look out this window here. And I'm using the Canon R6. Go ahead and keep looking out the window. Perfect, I'm gonna have you kind of like hold your shirt, kind of like, yeah, play with it, almost like scrunch it in the middle here. Yeah, while I'm doing the pictures. Got it. Good, that's perfect. And look that way for me. Tilt your head a little bit back. Let's go this way, yeah. One more, I'm gonna shoot from up high. 1, 2, and 1 at me. Got it. Okay, we're gonna move her over just a little bit closer to the window. I'm gonna have you kind of lean, not your butt, just your shoulders up against. Yeah, just like that. And you're gonna look out the window. Here I'm getting, her face is quite bright on the side, so I'm going to go ahead and up my shutter speed a little bit to 400, and then I'll correct that in post. Still look out the window a little bit, even more. Perfect. I'm gonna scoot back just a smidge, same thing. 1, 2, and at me. That's pretty. Let's bring your face straight on. Okay, we're good. So the closer you bring your subject to your light source, the more of like a dramatic shadow you're going to get. So you're gonna get a lot of highlight on this side of her face, and then you're gonna get a deeper shadow on this side. Whereas if you were to move her to the middle, everything is a little bit more even, and you can brighten everything in post. All right, we are going to move on to the middle of the room, which will be our second spot, and I will go ahead and do that now. It's like the little squeaky, like monkey noise or whatever. It's like all sped up. Thank you. Say, does that look like in the middle? Maybe over a little bit more? Okay, let's move it up just a little bit too. Like that? Look good? We're gonna start in the middle again as we started the first round, and I'm gonna have you just do that same pose we did with the hand in pocket. I'm gonna keep my settings the same as when I started earlier, so I have my shutter at 1/200, an f-stop of 2, and my ISO is at 160. Go ahead and look out that way. That's pretty. And at me. I'm gonna tilt your head just a tiny little bit. Good, and then one further back. Okay, good. So one thing about shooting in the middle of the room is that you're getting a pretty even light, like you're not getting any shadows or highlight on either side of her face. It's a pretty flat light. So if you're going for that kind of look, I would recommend shooting in the middle of the room. You're not getting any sort of like contrast. You'd have to add that in later on. But I am gonna move her a little bit closer to where there are windows to kind of show you if you're shooting in the middle of the room and you're wanting to add a little bit of dimension to her face. Good, let's go ahead and like turn your head like this a little bit. Yeah, I liked you playing with your hair or like maybe even your ear. Yeah, that's pretty. Good, let's do like a profile so you're looking straight this way. I'm gonna take one from back here. Go ahead and do the hand in the, yeah. And at me. Okay, and then we're gonna move you to the other side. That same pose where we had you put your shoulders back. To look straight this way and the opposite direction. Okay, great. I think we're done for that position. We're gonna move the backdrop to our east-facing windows and show you the difference between the other two. Okay, so we're in spot 3. We are right up against our east-facing windows. Like I said, we are shooting this video and these pictures right now, late afternoon. So most of the sunlight on this side of the room is coming in the morning. You'll have the same lighting effect as you would the first spot that we filmed just a minute ago in the mornings. But in the afternoons, it does look a little different. The light is a lot softer, but you still get a little bit of dimension when you're standing next to the window. We'll start by you standing in the very middle, and let's have you come up off the backdrop just a little bit. Perfect. We're gonna go with that same first pose, hand in pocket. My settings are still the same. We have 1/200. F-stop of 2 and ISO of 160. That's good. Turn your head this way. Let's go a little bit more dramatic. And then same thing, just the other side. This will show you like the difference between the light hitting the face and the shadows. I'm gonna go from this angle. Whenever I shoot at this spot in the afternoons, I always like to go from the angle from the east side, mainly because you're getting the majority of the light being casted on your subject here, whereas if you were to shoot over here, you're getting a lot more of a shadow look with the backlight from behind her. That's really pretty. Tilt your head like almost like you're falling asleep. Let's have you bring that chin down a little bit. Yeah. And then look out this way. A little smile. 1, 2. Go ahead and do that thing where you were playing with your t-shirt again. Yeah. Go ahead and keep your hands moving and like your shoulders moving. Yeah, you'll keep your legs still for me, but just move like your shoulders back and forth. Perfect, look out the window. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna do one with your hands in your back pockets, and then let's kind of like fluff the shirt a little bit so it's even. Yeah, that's perfect. So if you are shooting in a natural light studio for the first time, I would recommend starting closest to the window and then starting to work your way back, just so you can get comfortable with the light and how your subject looks right in front of the window. And then you can also work on a few from behind with the light behind them. If you're ever nervous about the photo not turning out, my piece of advice would always be like, just to tell your client, I'm gonna try this, it may not work, it may not end up in your gallery, but I wanna at least try and see what it looks like. So that's something you can always say to somebody if you wanna try something, but you're not sure if it's really gonna turn out. So with that, I'm gonna shoot from this side, and I don't know if it's gonna turn out, but we're gonna try it. So I want you to lean, yeah, bring your hands in your back pockets. Yeah, and you're gonna kind of lean all the way over. Yeah, perfect, just like that. With your right hand, go ahead and like bring it here and bring your elbow like down. Yeah, oh, that's really pretty. Look off this way. I'm gonna get really close. That's pretty. And over at me. Okay, awesome. One thing I wanted to point out as we wrap this up is if you're in a studio that has light flooring, it's also really great if you need more light hitting your subject's face to have them sit down. So you have the light coming in from the windows and also the light hitting the floors and bouncing back on their faces. So I'll have you go ahead and sit down. We'll demonstrate that really quick. Perfect. And here you'll see that her face is just a little bit brighter in these pictures. And if she looks out the window, that's so beautiful. Go ahead and play with your hair for me. Let's go this hand if you don't mind. Yeah, and just kind of hold on, yeah, perfect, to your leg. And look out that window again. Go ahead and do this again to your, yeah. Last one. Okay, I think we're done. Well, that's it for today. I hope you learned something. Whether you live in town and you're coming to use the studio, or you live elsewhere and you are using a studio in your own town, I hope that you move around and use the different areas of your studio to see which pictures you like best in which areas. And overall, it just makes you more comfortable when shooting your clients. Also, if you are shooting at Lightbox, there's always somebody here to help if you need help moving the backdrop, or if you just have questions about what area is best to shoot in at what time of day. We'll see you next time.